I've never posted here before, but I can't stop thinking about what happened that night. It's been almost a year, August 29th, 2024, but I still flinch every time I see headlights behind me. I was driving home from work late. I manage inventory for a warehouse and was covering for a night shift guy who called in. I clocked out around 1:12 a.m. and started the 40-minute drive home. Normally I take the main highway, but that night I took County Road 13. It's darker, more rural, but saves time. The air smelled like cut wheat, and my windows were cracked just enough to let it in. I remember checking the time, 1:41 a.m., because I was thinking how quiet the road was. No traffic, no lights, just the tires humming against the pavement. Then I noticed a glow behind me. At first, I thought it was a truck, but when I checked the rear view, I saw two circular lights, not headlights, spaced unusually far apart and hovering higher than any normal vehicle. They weren't gaining on me, just following. I tapped my brakes. They didn't react. I pulled over to let them pass, but the lights stopped too. Not a sound, no engine, no gravel crunch, just silence. I sat there, watching in the mirror. My dashboard lights flickered. Then the radio, already off, let out this sharp, high-pitched whine, like microphone feedback. It only lasted a few seconds. When I looked back up, the lights were gone. No fade out, just gone. I cracked the window more, listening. No wind, no bugs, just this strange, unnatural stillness. Then I saw something in the mirror. Not lights, a tall figure, maybe 30 feet back, standing on the side of the road. I couldn't make out details. It was just there, perfectly still. I floored it. My tires spun before catching. I didn't look back. I didn't slow down. When I pulled into my driveway, I noticed something that made my stomach sink. My phone said it was 2:19 a.m. The drive should have taken 40 minutes. I'd been on the road for over an hour. I checked my dash cam the next day. That stretch of time? Corrupted. Just static. I haven't told anyone. Still don't know what I saw. Could have been a drone, a trick of the light, maybe sleep deprivation. But sometimes, when everything's real quiet, I hear that whine again. Like it's still out there. Waiting. This happened on April 18th, 2023. I haven't talked about it much because I don't have a good explanation, and saying it out loud makes it sound fake. I was house sitting for my cousin. They live in a pretty isolated area, about 10 minutes outside a small town. Nothing fancy, one-story ranch house, surrounded by open fields. Closest neighbor is maybe half a mile down the road. It was a quiet Tuesday night. Around 11:30 p.m., I made popcorn, poured a glass of ginger ale, and sat down to watch TV. I remember flipping through their channels and stopping on one that was just static. Nothing unusual. It happens with satellite out there sometimes. But about 10 seconds in, I started hearing something under the static. Not voices exactly, more like a rhythm, faint beeps or clicks. I turned the volume up. It wasn't consistent, like Morse code, but off. I changed the channel, but that same clicking came through again. Even the shows I flipped to had it faintly in the background. Then, the screen glitched, just for a moment, and showed this single frame of what looked like a cornfield. It wasn't part of the show. I know because I rewound and paused, and it was gone. Just static again. I muted the TV and walked over to the front window. That's when I noticed the porch light flickering. Not blinking on and off, just dimming and flaring, like something was affecting the power. And I swear the air smelled different. Not smoke, not metal, just wrong. Almost sterile. My phone lost service around then. Wi-Fi too. I tried to reset the router, but it wouldn't even power on. I stood in the hallway, not sure what to do, when I heard the back door click. Not swing open, not slam, just unlock. It has one of those sliding bolt locks, and I had definitely latched it earlier. I walked over slowly and called out, "Hello." Nothing. I looked out the back window and saw the field. Empty. Still. Then my cousin's dog, who hadn't made a sound all night, started barking like crazy. Low, angry barks, staring at the ceiling. Not the door, the ceiling. When I finally got my phone to work the next morning, I saw something that made my stomach drop. A voice memo I don't remember recording. It was 46 seconds of static, clicking sounds, and something breathing. I haven't stayed in that house since. My grandparents' house is old and tucked deep in the woods. I used to stay there during summers when I was a kid. Last month, I agreed to house sit for a week while they visited family. The first few nights were peaceful. No neighbors, no traffic, just the distant chirp of crickets and frogs from the swampy area behind the trees. But on the third night, around 2 a.m., I woke up with this pressure in my head. Not pain, more like a low-frequency vibration, like being underwater. The room was quiet, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was outside. I went to the back window and looked out toward the drain field, a grassy patch beyond the tree line where the septic system ends. In the moonlight, I could see faint impressions in the grass. Not footprints, just wide, shallow depressions in no clear pattern. I watched for a while. Nothing moved, but the silence was wrong. No wind, no bugs. Even the trees looked frozen. At 2:17 a.m., every light in the house flicked off for half a second, then came back on. The TV in the living room powered on by itself, stuck on a blank input, just a black screen with a faint hissing sound. Then came the knocking. 3 slow, deliberate knocks on the glass sliding door at the back of the house. I didn't move, didn't even breathe. I could see the door from where I stood, but there was no one there. Just condensation on the glass. And 3 handprints. Thin, long, too long. I stayed in my room with a kitchen knife and a flashlight, barely blinking. At some point I must have passed out, because I woke up with the flashlight dead beside me and the knife still in my hand. In the daylight, I checked the door. No prints, no condensation. But the grass in the field? Completely flattened. In a perfect circle, about 15 feet across. The grass inside was twisted in a spiral. Dead center was a small pile of rocks stacked neatly, 5 of them. I didn't put them there. Later, I checked my phone's photos. I hadn't taken any that night, but there were 4 new images. All black, except the last one. It's a blurry, close-up photo of my bedroom ceiling. Taken at 2:29 a.m. I never heard the door open, never heard anyone come in. But someone, or something, was standing over me. And I never woke up.